A Vijay Melava or a victory rally was held today where we saw the two Thackeray brothers, the two Thackeray cousins share the same stage after almost 2 decades. It was a historic moment and a very important one too when you think of Maharashtra's political terrain. There are a lot of things that unfolded on, in that 1.5 hour long event, which only had speeches by Raj Thackeray first, the younger brother, followed by Uddhav Thackeray, the senior one. But what are the inferences that we can draw out of this to understand or to try and get some clarity on exactly what is going on in Maharashtra's politics at this moment? This entire event, for context, was never supposed to be in place. It was because of the GR that was passed by the government first in the month of April, making Hindi the mandatory language. Then it was changed in June, where Hindi was made the default third language. And when the backlash didn't stop, in fact, it became stronger with every little change that the government did in making sure that they try and include Hindi in some way or the other. People from across different sections of Marathi population united, and a rally was planned. A huge protest rally was planned today on the 5th of July, here in Mumbai, for which both the Thackeray parties united. One day before the monsoon session began, Devendra Fadnavis and his two deputies, they said that the GRs stood cancelled, and now the decision went back to what it was earlier. Instead, a new committee was set up to study and understand this matter in much detail. And after that, the two parties, instead of cancelling the program on the 5th of July, changed it to a victory parade to celebrate their symbolic victory over the government. That's the bit of context that we need to understand why this event happened. Now, secondly, it is an important piece or a point of development as far as Maharashtra politics is concerned, because a lot is happening here in Mumbai, especially with the MNS. We've seen that the act of violence that has gone viral on social media, and because what happened in Mira Bhayandar, where a group of MNS workers, they stormed into a store, and then they after having a bit of scuffle with the shopkeeper there for not allegedly for not speaking in Marathi, the man was slapped on camera. And then, of course, we saw that it led to a flurry of political reactions coming in, not many of them supporting MNS, but staying consistent with the opinion that Marathi needs to be known by whoever wants to conduct business in Mumbai. That issue, again, is an independent one. Why was this rally significant, or why was this particular event significant? Is because everyone was looking forward to any piece of information if we were able to get about the alliance of the Thackeray's, while the leaders from both the ends, MNS and UBT, had made it very clear that this is not a political rally. It is just a social rally or cultural rally of sorts being done to promote the cause of Marathi, with the two Thackeray's coming together, with a majority of the major opposition leaders coming together. It was difficult for such kind of a rally to have stayed an apolitical or a social rally for the longest possible time. So how did it become political? In many ways. Raj Thackeray, who spoke first, primarily spoke about the issue of language. He started speaking about the need for or the lack of it thereof. Of learning Hindi as the third language. He said he gave examples of all of those states where Hindi is not learnt, and said that there was no harm being done before Hindi was made compulsory in the month of April earlier. So why this change needed? He also questioned on what would be the third language that will be taught in the Hindi belt. Right? Will they learn Marathi? Because a lot of people from there come to Mumbai, and here they expect others to know Hindi but do not know Marathi themselves. And all of these statements, all of these one-liners were met with tremendous response from a packed crowd here at the NSCI Dome in Varli. He also addressed criticism being thrown the way of the Thackeray's, where Devendra Fadnavis himself said that those who are talking about Marathi have sent their own children to English schools, and the redundantness of that the hollowness, according to Raj Thackeray, of that particular argument was also elaborated on by him, wherein he said that it is not important to know where a person studied in, but the bitterness about the language needs to stay intact. He spoke on this line. He also gave references to the Sanyukta Maharashtra movement, and primarily spoke by keeping Marathi at the center of this entire conversation. Uddhav Thackeray's speech was slightly different because of course, he spoke about Marathi. He directly attacked Devendra Fadnavis, who had called out the hooliganism in the name of language. Just the last day, Uddhav Thackeray, in fact, spoke on behalf of his brother and said that fighting for one's own language, fighting for justice as a Marathi in Maharashtra, if it is hooliganism, then we're all goons, we're all gundas, is what he said, pretty much on unexpected lines, because he's been following the moderate line since 2019, ever since the split happened. ever since the MVA rather came into being, and the split happened a little later. But what Uddhav Thackeray also did is that he made the entire speech a little political. He spoke about certain policies. There was a direct reference being made to the farmer suicide. There was a direct reference being made to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, distress amongst different sections of population when it comes to the state. And, he also spoke about the futility of the presence of either the BJP or their political predecessor, that is Janasangh, or even the RSS remotely mentioned them, in the Sanyukta Maharashtra movement or any other important movement which has taken place here in, Maharashtra. What Uddhav was trying to highlight on this basis was to show how, those who are becoming the flag bearers of nationalism, of Hindutvavad, have in fact not had a very long history when you talk about Maharashtra or Maharashtra's socio-political or even cultural terrain. Now, event aside, uh, what is the relevance of Raj Thackeray in this entire dynamics, right? We saw that directly, mostly directly and sometimes indirectly, Uddhav Thackeray was making, or was trying to make accommodative statements in making it feel that Raj Thackeray should join hands with Uddhav Thackeray. In fact, to be fair to Uddhav, even Raj did indirectly talk about how the credit of the Thackeray brothers coming together, something that Bal Thackeray couldn't do, many other senior leaders couldn't do after that, was should be given to Devendra Fadnavis because of the entire GR controversy. Although he was more sarcastic, Uddhav Thackeray was more direct in talking about how the two brothers are going to unite, have united. We don't have a lot of clarity on that, but talked about how the Marathi Manus needs to stay intact. Now, one can take whatever inference they want from that particular statement, whether it is only for the Marathi Manus or for the Thackerays as a whole. But Raj Thackeray becomes important in this particular scenario because of the upcoming civic polls. We know that during Lok Sabha, Raj Thackeray gave an unconditional support to the Mahayuti alliance. Did not end well because Mahayuti were outdone by the Mahavikas Agadi. During the Vidhan Sabha election, Raj Thackeray fought independently, again could not win even a single seat. And the chatter about Raj Thackeray's relevance in the state politics started to happen. But then, of course, the preparation for the civic polls began, and that is where Raj Thackeray is the strongest. He is the strongest in Mumbai and the MMR region. May not reflect, very well as far as the seats are concerned. But when you talk about the Marathi voter stronghold, Raj Thackeray has a very healthy strike rate of 7% voter base. And that 7% voter base across different parts of Mumbai city is what Shiv Sena, that is Shinde Sena, UBT and BJP are looking forward to, which is why they are trying to woo Raj Thackeray in some way or the other. First, we had Eknath Shinde paying visit to Raj Thackeray's house. Right here, I'm standing outside his house, for a courtesy visit over a lunch. Then we had a very secretive meeting take place in Bandra's five-star hotel between Raj Thackeray and Devendra Fadnavis when this entire language issue was at its peak. And now, of course, the chatter about his alliance with Uddhav Thackeray are becoming stronger following this particular program. The fact that the Marathi voter base and the sentimental value that Raj Thackeray has amongst different pockets of Mumbai should be cashed upon by certain parties is the reason why most of them are trying to get Raj on their own side. As of today, it seems that Raj is closest to Uddhav Thackeray, but this has been the case earlier as well. In 2014, in 2017, it was in fact Raj Thackeray and his party which went ahead and stated that there needs to be some sort of an alliance, but that couldn't fructify for different reasons. Both the parties have their own reasons for that. But now it seems that after a long wait of close to 20 years, the Thackeray brothers are closest to form an alliance. With camera person Rajendra Dalkar, this is Anuj Rai reporting for NDTV.